So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to the leader and you. We are here at Miss Shirley's. We have Miss Lindsay coming from the Charlotte area via Zoom. Hey, good morning, good morning. We have Queen Kendall. Yes, yes, yes. We have a king in the room, Nathaniel, and the second king, Dr. Leroy. What's up, Dr. Leroy, co-host? And you know what? Oh, we got somebody else. Oh, is that hey, we got more people coming in the virtual room, but listen. I was listening and watching, and I just kind of vegged out on Sunday with some inspirational business videos. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to some of my other. I'm gonna go back to. It's okay. I'm gonna go back to some of my other notes that I took on Sunday. Is Lindsay still with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. John C. Maxwell. It says, "How committed are you to the process?" Dr. Eric Thomas said, put an expiration date to it. And I'm gonna go back to each one. And then Dr. Cindy Trim, I just listened to this one the other day. Burn the boat. There is no plan B. Mr.
I'm Milroy.
Well, come on into the phone. We just got started.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And then we also have a queen via Charlotte online with us on Zoom.
Hello, Lindsay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So come on in, and then let me give you that way when the waitress order something you would like.
Thank you.
So let me go back to it. No, we just been kind of talking exchange, but we just started like with the topics that we're going to cover, and everybody can chime in and give their viewpoints. But the three main topics we're going to cover during this leadership breakfast. One of the quotes again by John C. Maxwell: "How committed are you to the process?" A quote by Dr. Eric Thomas says, "Put an expiration date to it." And a quote by Dr. Cindy Trim says, "Burn the boat. There is no plan B." And so when I saw the quote about from John C. Maxwell, and it's how committed are you to the process? He was talking about whether it be business, he was talking about if you have like an outreach organization, how committed are we to the process? We know fourth quarter is right around the corner. I want to make sure we got you guys. We know fourth quarter is right around the corner. And so I wanted us to have a conversation about committed to the process as leaders, right? And how are we going to be committed to close out this year? What do we need to do so we can transition into next year to hit our goals, right? So that's one point of the conversation today. And then Dr. Eric Thomas came back saying, put an expiration date to it. I saw this, I was up literally like 2 in the morning. And when I saw this, he was talking about sometimes there's things in our life that's residue and we haven't deaded it yet. We haven't killed it yet. We haven't been done with it yet. Like milk, if we know milk has expired, it's going to have a smell. If we try to drink it, we're going to probably want to throw it out of our mouth. Same thing it is in our life. What do we need to put an expiration date to? And sometimes it's not that it's things that's necessarily bad, but it's just not in season for us anymore. So us as leaders, we're going to be talking about that today. And then Dr. Cindy Trim, this was my fave. I love and I follow her. She said, burn the boat. There's no plan B. She said when she launched out to build her business, she didn't give herself other possibilities. She didn't give herself, there could be a C, a D, a F, or whatever. And when I saw her video, it was about 20 minutes long. It was all about burning the boat. So I want us to think about this morning, what boats do we need to burn? What boats do we need to burn so that way as we go into next year, we're totally just focusing on our plan A. This is Good Morning to the Leader and You breakfast. We're going to eat together. We're going to talk together. We're going to encourage each other. But also, I want us to talk about these 3 core things. What are we committed to? What expiration date do we need to put to whatever? And then what boats do we need to burn? So anybody can chime in on any one of these topics and kind of share your thoughts on what you. Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah, I know we were talking a little bit earlier, but
I'm sorry.
yeah, we were talking earlier, and you guys know I just got done with campaigning.
Yes.
Running for the State House delegates, and I look at it as one, the experience was tremendous, to do something like that, all that was required just to be qualified to become a candidate, forming a team, a very small team.
Mhm.
But understanding, going through the process to help me understand, okay, this is what I need to do next time. And here are the things that I need, here's the schedule, here are the things that I need to, etch in stone, put on paper and say, this is going to be the schedule I run for the next 4 years. Here are the people I'm going to recruit. Here's how I'm going to outreach. Here's how, here are the initiatives that I'm going to form. Here's how I'm going to, one, get input from people, for the communities that I plan on serving. So, burning the boat, there's no plan B because I didn't win. I have to stay on plan A to get to win, to win the next time. So a lot of lessons learned, a lot of very good experience doing that, and an opportunity to get some exposure, let people know, my care, my concerns, and things that I'm putting to, like better for all of us.
Yeah.
I like to interject this. I'm tired of Baltimore politics. You know why? Because I have, for many years, I've worked for people, volunteered my service. And the only time half the delegates and people who run for office speak back to you when you say hello is when they're campaigning, when they need help. My thing is, you running for office, let me see you doing an off out.
Yeah.
Let me see you, making a difference and a change within your community and not doing time, when you're in the
campaigns.
office.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. You would win. Let me tell you, I see a great around. You have a presence, but I'm gonna tell you something. But people can't see the presence on TV. They need to see your presence in their presence.
Yes.
And there's so many people within office that they're just doing this because they're just doing this because TV. And I'm just definitely wrong with my client. I've done other
I'm sorry.
people in office, whatever, but I'm just so.
That's when the kids will order in a minute.
I mean, I still vote. I'm just done. And I'm
Yeah.
just waiting to see. I mean, from Sheila Dixon to Catherine Pugh. I mean, I've had personal experiences with them where it wasn't good. So, what is it about you that makes them make the vote? I'm a hairstylist. I'm the ear that people read and talk about. I mean, what is it about you that the next time you think that you're going to get people voted?
Right. One of the things I thought that made a difference with me is and I live in districts, I live in the county, but I told people, listen, my issues are your issues. When they were coming up, a lot of them didn't know who to vote for. I told them, I live right here in this community. You know what? I am your neighbor. Your concerns are my concerns. I feel those things too. I feel trash not being picked up. I feel the fact that, we don't have enough lighting. I feel the fact that, we don't have any variety on Liberty Road. I feel those things and I embrace those. So I'm going to speak for you. And you know me. I want you to know me. I want you to say, hey, knock on my door. Come say, hey, this is concerning me. Let's have that conversation. That's what politicians are for. That's what community leaders are for.
Tried to make a difference before.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Make a
absolutely, absolutely. And most Catherine will tell you, I run a nonprofit called Uplift Baltimore. Yeah, and I'm a STEM professional. And I believe that using technology like sports did for us, by using technology and creating technical careers, bridges a gap for us, in our community.
I taught at STEM camp.
Yes.
Daughter's a STEM teacher.
Yeah, right. So I'm trying to get our Black and brown kids into that career field, so they can understand there's some benefit to it. And it's 21st century. That was the slogan of my campaign, the 21st century mindset. So it's 21st century. That's going to get you over the top. Everybody can't rap. Everybody can't play sports. Culturally speaking, those things are glorified per se. But there's a great life being a tech person. There's a great life you can reach back and you can be more far-reaching using technology to change people's lives. So, and that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, so they can contact me anytime. Catherine will tell you I live on social media.
Yes.
Yeah. So I appreciate the question, yo. Yeah.
Articulate. You definitely feel like I want to believe you.
Yeah.
But I just had to see you.
Yeah.
Hold me accountable. Like that, but when people say I'm this and that, I mean, my thing is position. When you position yourself and you say you got to get your team, of course, yes, you have people in administration. You have your team. There's some people that work under in the team. And I mean, let's think y'all because I mean, this
your passions are mine.
right.
I think that's what I ran.
I mean, I've had groups of people, I have kids, but the life is,
Yes.
you get them, you have them working on your campaign, trust the child.
Yeah.
Trust somebody who has certain leadership ability to come in and get a big input, the little Malays, whatever, it's super happy.
Yeah.
Watch with the change.
Sure will. Sure will.
Hey, how would you-
Yes, we're gonna keep this conversation like that. This is what it's about.
And that's the great thing. Yeah, yeah, I've got to be on mute, so I can't. So I guess I can't.
So
put my- can't open my-
So we're recording and I'm gonna upload. We're gonna upload after. But we're gonna just keep the conversation fluid. Miss Lindsay, now listen, I know you heard some of these quotes. What's your thoughts on how committed are you to the process, putting an expiration date to it, and burn the boat? There is no plan B. What's your thoughts about any one of those?
Yeah, so one, I think,
You want to introduce yourself first. We didn't let you do your intro.
hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay Peel. I am the founder and principal consultant at Kingdom Vision Consulting, and we're a financial services firm that specializes in making sure that entrepreneurs of color have access to financial tools and resources to gain access to capital, increase your personal net worth simultaneously, but also to find the perfect financial professionals for you to add to your financial dream team. When it comes to all of those quotes, really, it's very timely because this weekend I spent some time in Atlanta for Invest Fest, hosted by Earn Your Leisure, and hearing just from esteemed guests such as Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, etc. And one thing that they all spoke about was really being on a faith journey and believing that the work that you are doing isn't for you. It's really honestly to serve God, but also to serve the people around you. Your gifts aren't for you. Your gifts are for the people who have been called to your voice. And it's just, it adds confirmation to me to stop looking for confirmation and affirmations from other people. As long as God is pleased, as long as I am following within his will, as long as I am doing what he has called me to do, I will never fail. Sometimes I think we get wrapped up in what the world's going to say or what people think about us, or now the likes and views and subscribers that we have on social media outlets, that sometimes we get a little distracted from our assignment. But it's about really staying focused. And when you're focused and committed to the assignment, it will come to pass. When you put a date behind it, that's really just making sure that you are putting a stamp on what God has already told you to perform.
Stay focused and committed to the assignment. Because sometimes life will want to derail us.
That's right.
Right there, this is a sister from Charlotte. She was sharing her thoughts about staying committed to the process. And what she had just shared was, when we stay committed to the process, we have to stay committed to the assignment. Because sometimes we get derailed and we get on in other lanes, whether people pulling us in their lane, or we get distracted and we going off, just like when we was in a car driving. And if we wasn't focused, a collision would happen. That's how that happens in life with our purpose and our mission. We have collisions with our business and it doesn't thrive because we step either in somebody else's lane, or sometimes we covet what somebody else has because we think that's what we need to have. And I think a lot of times when we talk about leadership, we have to be so in tune to who we are as a leader and not covet anyone else's leadership abilities, not covet anything anyone else has. Because when that happens, we're not going to be committed to the process to the end because we're not even in our own lane. There was another speaker that I was hearing talk, and they were saying a lot of times people don't stay committed to the end because they was never truly in their own lane. You know what I mean? And so, hey, good morning. Welcome. Come on in, queen.
How you doing?
We have another queen entering the room.
Good morning. Good morning.
Lindsay, she's in the Charlotte area.
And it's Lindsay. I'm sorry, Catherine.
She's right here on the screen. Oh, yep.
Lindsay, nice to meet you.
And everyone did kind of like an intro. Feel free, and then I'll tell you what some of the topics that we're talking about. Please feel free to share about you and the business.
Right this second.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Jump right on in.
My name is KG. It is short for Marinity.
Mhm.
Make fresh juices. I really think it's important to specialize in just building healthy habits. In America, everybody is living unhealthy habits. We have access to basically everything at our fingertips. I just like to push something. More holistic. I would love to have some beet juice this morning.
Yeah, same here. That's my favorite.
Some cold press.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see you got Leroy's shirt on. I do. Yeah, I
Be
saw.
on top. Oh, that's your line?
Yeah, I saw that you walked in. Cause I got a green one too.
Ask me what I did.
You know what, brother? You said you were a hairstylist. No, but we gotta go deeper. Come on.
You said you didn't ask me.
No, but you know what? You right. Call me
So,
out.
I'm not gonna call y'all.
Well, before you go,
Mhm.
no, I'm just gonna let y'all know. He
Uh-huh.
does
This
more
is the
than
one
that.
that you was telling me about.
He styled me.
Oh, Leroy.
For the photo
For my
shoot.
photo
Yeah,
shoot.
So
And
you
the
was
design.
the man
Yeah,
behind it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you
So
told me
I'm
about
just gonna
it. You
start
said
start there. So
Okay, well, my name is Milroy Harris.
Did you
Yeah.
sing
I'm a
with you?
celebrity hairstylist and makeup artist.
Come on.
But I see that, like you said, staying in your lane, I realize that your gift will make room.
Yeah.
Come on.
So the room that is made for me, one of my next passions is to explore the area of being an art director.
Mhm.
Because I realize a lot of times people, may call me, say, what you think about this? And so I help them come up with conceptualizations. Or sometimes I may have a vision.
Mhm.
Like I had a vision, I see Leroy, I said, oh, he's the boss. He
Mhm.
needs more pictures.
Mhm.
So it was like pull a teeth from
No,
a
those
baby.
pictures was
to
fire
get
though.
him the-
Don't
but
worry,
it's not
That's why
intelligent.
you.
We not really finished doing a retouch and
Okay.
things like that, but this is this we're gonna have it doing some stuff in post-production, and then I want y'all to see that. But
Okay.
one of my things is that I like to do makeovers. I love dealing with women who everybody considers unattractive. I love the skin I am. I love Black.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I love
Yes.
everything about Black women. So
Mhm.
that's one of my philosophies is all women are beautiful. All women have an aesthetic that makes them a different feature that makes them aesthetically different than the next.
Yes.
And me as an artist, and a sculptor,
Mhm.
that's my job to pull it out and sculpt.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel when I see Black men. You know what I mean? And so that's going to be one of the book projects I'm working on.
Okay.
Nice.
And Leroy actually years ago he was helping with the project, but he was also saying something about being positioned
Mhm.
to do, putting the deadline. So I finally put a deadline on myself.
Mhm.
Well, a beginning start date, and my start date will be in September to really do my book project. But I had so many other things
Mhm.
going on in my life that I had to be in alignment with
Yeah.
what needed to be done. So with that, I am
No.
finished.
No. But I mean, I'm glad you shared though, because
You didn't ask me.
but no, you're right. Because I want to make sure everybody, shares and we know what everybody is doing. But I like the perspective of what you said when you use the word sculpting. Because that's really what leaders do. That's what we do. We sculpt, we build.
I'm telling you, I think nothing is better than seeing a Black woman
Mhm.
go to church on Sunday.
Mhm.
And she may be economically deprived,
Mhm.
but you, sister, will go in that closet, y'all put some fruit on a hat, and go find something, put a glove on, and get a pocketbook from a thrift store or from Kmart, and make it look like $1 million.
Mhm.
And see, you ladies don't give yourselves,
Nothing to do with
some of
money.
our sisters don't give themselves enough credit.
Mhm.
Because one thing I've learned from working around the country
Mhm.
is that a lot of the top hairstylists in the world come to the hood.
Mm.
I actually work for a company, and they come to the hood, they steal our ideas, and they do what we don't do. They put intellect behind it,
Mhm.
and they articulate this, and they put intellect behind it. And then the ones who are in position to do stuff, they don't even worry about that because they don't care. These people, these little neighbors, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's the attitude that they have towards, but they still have stuff
Yeah.
like the Asians, and they put intellect behind it, and then they have the dollars behind it or whatever, and they sell it back to us
Yeah.
and make it a trend.
That's true.
You know,
That's
so
true.
I gotta give
I've
up.
seen that.
Understand.
He's speaking
They come to our neighborhood,
Yes, they do.
take our ideas, put intellect
Right.
behind it, i.e. meaning marketing
Business.
and all of those things that to push it, to put it out there, and then turn right back around and sell it to us. How- That's
I
crazy.
actually worked for a company that did that.
That
You
did
know,
that.
They sought me
That's
out.
crazy.
It was called Pro 10. And I was one of the 12 African Americans that were selected throughout America to come in. And what they would do, right? Now I see it. Like you go to some of the Asian stores, and you might go to purchase some hair or anything, and you'll see a mannequin with a pre-done hairdo. You might have a tilt, have long this. And what they do, these companies, they come and they have a group of select individuals that you might find in the trenches all around the country. They give you a little stipend. They take you out to eat at an Asian smorgasbord, and put you in a little hotel. You know what I mean? And then they make you feel like special. And you come in, they tell you they want to see your style of them. So they'll give you different mannequins, they'll give you a certain amount of pack of hair. Let's see how you style this. So people be going for it. But you cannot, after you cut it and style, as many mannequins as you can, you don't get an opportunity to keep your mannequins, you know what I mean, or take pictures of them.
Really?
And then what they do, they keep it, and then I realize they manufacture, they duplicate, they steal, then they may have. Okay. All right, thank you. And they may have one Asian girl who might be that quote unquote project that will never ever be able to touch what we do, but she'll be able to do something. Buzzing it. And she'll be able to do a little something, but she'll be there learning and stealing the techniques so they can do a little. But one thing I tell y'all about this melon, it's so creative. Your creativity is in the hood. That's why I was telling this gentleman here.
Right.
Oh, wow. I don't mean to be talking with Jeff, y'all, but
I wanted to be
I
a
said,
communal conversation.
they come to the hood, they steal our ideas. I'm sorry, it's crazy. That's why I was telling this gentleman. If you really want to get to the core of what's going on in the community and really know, that's where you go. One thing I learned in business class, they always told us, in business class, if you want to know about what's going on, go to the janitor. Am I right or wrong? So the janitor is the Lord's thing, the Lord's the low. But if you go to the Lord's the low, and it's some people, you might not like their delivery, but some of them, I trust them more than I trust a lot of people sitting in certain positions, because they'll let you know they may not be able to articulate or intellectualize what they see, but at the level of their understanding, man, they'll let you know. I'm trying to tell you, that's good stuff. And that's what they did. They came to the hood and they got Marquita and Chicha from here, from Detroit, and D-Boy from LA, and Milroy from Baltimore. And we came and we created outstanding style. And I'm like, wow. And they clicked. So that's what happened. And now with that, I'm going to eat my breakfast.
Okay.
I want to talk about that.
But on the heel of that, how do we continue with our individual leadership capacity, and what do we need to do specifically as far as strategy steps for the fourth quarter? Fourth quarter is right around the corner. That's October 1st. We're all in business. So I think everything you shared was healthy, and everyone has been sharing. And I want it to be a free flow conversation. It's not a dictator leadership breakfast, it's a communal. But I think also I want us to walk away with strategy, tips, and tools that we can actually implement as well. So let's brainstorm as leaders at the table. What do we need to do individually? And then possibly what can be done collectively with all of our businesses. I'll start first. One of the things that I am doing a deconstruction in my business. When I say deconstruction, what I mean by that is I'm looking back at my business plan. I'm looking at where any holes are. I'm looking at where there was no productivity, whether that be in sales, whether that be in marketing. I am deconstructing my whole business. That's what I'm doing in August and what I'm doing in September. So that way, October 1st, I'll be implementing new strategies that can help me thrust into next year. So a part of my deconstruction, I'm also examining myself as the leader of the company. I think a lot of times companies don't do that. We're examining the workers, we're examining everybody that's a part of it. We're not examining ourselves. So I'm examining myself. What did I do well? What did I not do well? I'm looking at my consistency. I'm looking at all of that. So when I say deconstruction, it's a deconstruction of me personally, but it's also a deconstruction of the business plan.
I think you should tell them what you do, because they might not even know.
Okay. So the name of my business is CTR Strategy Solutions. So I'm a business consultant and I work with organizations. 80% are nonprofit organizations where we help them get their 501c3 tax exempt status. So I've been processing those since 2007. And then I also work with for-profit businesses, helping them to create their business plan. So what I'm talking about for myself personally is also what I share with clients is the deconstruction phase. Because, you know, a lot of times, you know, we don't get to where we want to get to because we didn't take that time to deconstruct. This Sunday, I did a binge. It's this program that I enrolled into. It's called 1095. And you know who does the 1095, right? So
Man.
yes, Dr. Will.
Dr. Will.
Dr. Will, and I signed up for his program. But it was so many different dynamics going on literally within my family. But the good thing is he sends out all of his recording, all of his trainings are recorded. So even though I didn't make it live Sunday, I binged out on all the first three. But what I got from that, and he's such a straight shooter, he's no plan. I mean, he's a compassionate person, but he's a straight shooter. And what I got from all of those training tutorials is that if we're not where we need to be, when you get to a certain age, he kept saying that several times, when you get 40, he said, when you get 40 and older, if you still talk about things, why you not where you need to be, it ain't nobody's fault but your own. And so I looked at that. I was examining all those videos on Sunday and I said, you know what, I just need to deconstruct to reconstruct, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing. I have a 2-year goal. I think I might have shared it with Dr. Lee, I'm not sure. I have a 2-year goal though, where I want to see myself financially with my business, but not just only for myself. It's different things I wanted to pour back into my, you okay? Okay. Pour back into my nonprofit. So this deconstruction phase is going to have a ripple effect.
Just like I got a 3-year-old.
Oh, yeah. No, we have to. They kick right in.
Yeah, mama.
Right, it kicks right in.
So that's what I'm doing personally. I'm looking at where I am. Why am I not where I thought I should be at this point? And just taking an honest assessment. The last 90 days of this year is going to be a blindfold 90 days for me. And then that's what I got also from the 1095 training. And one of the activities that he had everyone to do, he said, I know this may seem morbid. He said, but I want you all to write your obituary.
I had to do that when I was 18 years old and scared to death.
And he said, if anything comes in your circle that don't line up with what you wanted your life to be, you can dead that. You don't even let it come into your space. And so I'm actually gonna be working on mine today when I get back home. And so I am just in a place where I'm deconstructing. That's where I am. Even when it comes to food, because I follow, I don't know if y'all follow his page, he talks a lot about healthy eating and things of that nature. That has often been a struggle. So when I talk about the business, I'm not just talking about business only, I'm talking about every area of my life. Because if I am not healthy internally, I can't do the things I need to do with my business. So I'm looking at all those facets of my life as a leader. And so that's why, so the 3 quotes that we started off today with, let me just share with you. John C. Maxwell, how committed are you to the process? Dr. Eric Thomas, put an expiration date to it. And then Dr. Cindy Trim, burn the boat, there is no plan B. So these are like the 3 quotes that kind of launched our conversation today. And we were just kind of getting everybody's perspectives on those topics and then adding anything else there. But that's like the base of today's conversation.
Did you want to grab Lindsay?
Lindsay, yes. Her face, yeah, her face is all.
But I'll say,
You want to share? Okay.
Yeah, because this week, I know I've been, and I started off yesterday, and I started off this weekend thinking about what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to focus on this week. And the one word that came to me was mastery. What are you mastering? And that's what we as entrepreneurs, we have to master. And it's in 3 different threefold.
Mhm.
It's master your mind, which is what you're talking about doing that deconstruct, reconstruct. Your master your craft, which is what it is that you do
Mhm.
or you're doing. How do you master that? Are you an expert in it? Are you that person, that go-to person that people want be like when they think about whatever industry that you're in,
Mhm.
they think about you. And then the third part is mastering your industry.
Mhm.
So those three different dynamics, being mastering those things, because anything that's a master at something is an expert. And always think about the game of chess.
Mhm.
You have grandmasters, and for anybody that's seen the movie
And we're not
Searching
talking
for
about
Bobby
Grandmaster
Fischer,
Flash.
I know.
I had to have my age. I had to sorry about that.
But anyone who's seen the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, it's about this young boy who's on his search to become a grandmaster, chess master, and he's being taught by a grandmaster. And the grandmaster, when it comes to being a grandmaster, you're not just thinking about the one move that you make as a chess player. Grandmasters think five pieces or five moves beyond that one move.
Yeah.
That's why they are grandmasters, because and we as entrepreneurs have to have that same mindset concept of mastering something where we're not just thinking about now. Because I was telling some folks, I said most people, those that are successful, wealthy, they're already in 2023, 2024, 2025.
Right.
They're already in 2030 because they're thinking not just now, they're thinking about, beyond what they're thinking about right now. So that's what it's about mastering your mind, mastering your skill set, and mastering your industry. So those would be the things that I think that we as entrepreneurs, the solution of what we need to be doing.
That reminds me of skill versus talent.
Mhm.
Because oftentimes we know that God has given us these gifts and we have the gifts. We have the talent. We already know we could do it with our eyes closed. But to perfect it and master it, that's the skill. So with the skill, you have to keep sharpening your tool. And I think a lot of people don't do that because they think, well, I can do this with my eyes closed. Let me tell you something. I could write a book literally with my eyes closed. Like God speaks through me. I've been writing since I was little, but there still is a skill to it. I can put my thoughts on paper like nothing. I never get writer's block, but there's a skill to it. I can't just be writing.
Right.
I have to format it. It has to be a certain way. It's a skill that I know that I need to do this. If I'm talking about a person, I don't say that is, I say who is. You get what I'm saying? So there's a skill behind that. And I think people need to master that. So that's good.
Master your skill.
Master your skill.
And not taking it for granted.
Right. Because we all have talents that we can do. And if that's part of our business, then we still have to sharpen that part.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
Lindsay, did you want to? Oh no, did you want to add to?
Did you want to share?
Yes, so also the pronunciation is Lindsay, by the way, sorry.
Oh, Lindsay. Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
One thing that I have found to really help me start preparing my mind for Q4 is to really surround myself with like-minded people, with like-minded business owners who understand the journey and the process when it comes to entrepreneurship, and really being able to create a safe space where we can come as our authentic selves. So really building community where you can add other people to your sphere of influence per se, just like this group right here. And then also too is seeking mentorship. I believe that we are never too far above that we can't get help, support, guidance, from other people. And sometimes we need to hear someone else restate what we're thinking or what we've said to them, or help us kind of put the pieces to the puzzle to what it is, what our vision is. I think so often we feel like we have to do business on our own. So often we feel like, we can't ask for assistance from someone. And a lot of times we keep ourselves stuck. It's really when, we think about the power of moving as a collective, when we think about the power of unity, a lot of times you move much further. And even being, even more more open to collaboration, especially when you have people who are in similar businesses, especially when it comes to just thinking about the nonprofit world. There are so many organizations who do some of the same things, and everybody's fighting a lot of times for the same money. And I feel like if we think more about collective efforts, how can 2 or 3 join together to go for the bigger dollars to make an even bigger impact, we'll also see ourselves go much further in business. So I'm looking specifically for me this year to strengthen my tribes, my community, my business community specifically, being able to really seek the support and mentorship that I really need to kind of help stay focused and grounded to the vision and the goal at hand, and being able to delegate, being able to ask for help when you need it.
No, I like the collectiveness. Tell me, what is your business again?
So we're a financial services firm, and we only work with entrepreneurs of color in 5 key areas of finance known as CLASS. So credit worthiness, long-term wealth, asset protection, strategic banking relationships, and strategic asset and accumulation. In short, we make sure that Black and brown entrepreneurs understand the importance of building their personal credit as well as business credit simultaneously. They understand the importance of creating retirement plans, making sure that for the long term that we can be set. Way too often as entrepreneurs, we're not thinking about how to save for the future. We're only really thinking about how do we pay bills next month? How do we make payroll, next week sometimes? But we have to start envisioning that long-term plan for ourselves, because it's the group of entrepreneurs who retire and don't have anything to retire to. Once you stop working for someone else, there is no 401k. You are your own 401k. And if we're not having those conversations, if we're not opening those accounts and making sure that we're focusing on that, then we're going to find ourselves stuck and sometimes regretful when it is time to retire. We also make sure that our clients understand the importance of protecting their assets, both from an insurance perspective, but also from an estate planning perspective. Of course, we know that many Black and brown entrepreneurs do not estate plan. We don't want to talk about, what happens, after our time here on earth. But I'm glad you mentioned that your mentor, your coach has you guys writing your obituaries. That's a part of that, right? So making sure that whatever assets that we have can be passed down to our families in a very fluid way, but most importantly, so that they are not getting, they're not put in the hands of the state who will be making decisions about your assets that you've worked so hard for versus your family. Banking relationships kind of speak for itself, making sure the entrepreneurs have a business banker, someone who can advocate for them on the inside, especially when it comes to, accessing capital and strategic asset accumulation. I'm a firm believer that every entrepreneur should have multiple streams of income, and we should hold ourselves accountable to purchase more assets that can make us money versus liabilities that typically depreciate and or do not add value to our personal lives or our business lives. So kind of in summary, we make sure that entrepreneurs have a very intentional focus on both their personal finances and their business finances at the same time, because it's not one or the other. It should be this and that.
No, I mean, I don't know if everyone could hear, but she was definitely hitting on some very, I think, pivotal points when it comes to business, because a lot of times business owners, they look flashy. I mean, I'm just saying sometimes it's people get staged for the Instagram or whatever. But what she's talking about, but do you really have the assets? Is it just the clothes and the shoes, or do we really have a business? Well, that's what I got from what you were saying. Are we just looking the part, or are we really a business owner?
Absolutely.
And so, and I like the way that you was phrasing everything. I mean, prior to that point of you expressing what your business is, you said collective unit, coming together in a collective way. This brother right here was talking earlier. I'm not sure if you could hear when he was talking about the Asian community. That is something that they do. They're strong with that. And so, and if it's not happening that way in our community, I'm not saying it is, it isn't. It's an open conversation to get everyone's input. You reference them. Do we see that same replication in our community? What are your thoughts on it? Or anyone?
I think we're
Yes, ma'am.
So it was really hard for me to hear what she was saying, but just from you saying about, do you just look the part, or are you really a business owner? I feel like as a new business owner who is still learning a lot every day, I've noticed that since I've started my business, every single day I'm out, I want to somebody I know, you know, on accident. Now, back in the day, it used to be the days when I looked like the most hottest mess that you could find. And then I run into somebody I have this high school and it's like, dang, like I had to run into this person today. But I noticed ever since I started my business, every single day I see somebody I know. And it's always like, oh, I haven't seen you in 10 years. Oh, do you remember me from so and so? So I've started just trying to look a little cuter because it's like you never
You're still
know.
your brand, you're
Yeah,
representing
it's like
yourself.
you never know.
Yeah, so you
who
still
you're
have to
gonna
do
like
that.
run into.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like dealing with like fresh fruit and like vegetables and things like that. I kind of don't want to be looking super crusty, but at the same time, it can be difficult because if I'm chopping up fruit all day, like I'm like stained up from like team break or whatever the case may be. But I have tried at least a little bit to look.
So let me clarify what I, no, but yeah,
That's important.
let me just clarify real quick. I don't mean don't keep yourself up.
Okay. Oh,
No,
you
no, no,
mean
no,
like,
no,
oh,
no. You gotta,
Make it till you make it.
No, you're still your
you,
brand.
yeah, hygiene is important and keeping yourself, adorning yourself, that is women, but yeah, we definitely have to. What I mean by that is, I'm not gonna say, and it was a lady that reached out to me on Instagram. Way more followers than I do. Way more. I mean, she looking hot, looking good, everything. We get on the phone, she ain't got no money. Okay. And then she talking about, I need your help. As fast as money come in, as fast as money going out. Nah, she got all these followers. She got all these flashy stuff going, just looking good, but broke. That's what I'm talking about. We gotta keep ourselves up. We gotta.
So I think for people like that, it's really important for people to use their following to make them. Sometimes people don't know how to, or like how you talk about with skill and talent, like some things you're just naturally good at. But at the end of the day, hard work beats talent, and talent fails to work.
You've
hard.
been
That's right. Like,
That's
so
right.
it's like you
That's
can
right.
look as flashy as you can. As flashy as you look, all you gotta do is have one shirt and say it's $9.99. Somebody is gonna buy that for $9.99, and your bank account is gonna start increasing. But if you use all
Maybe.
your followers and you're too scared, or you're too shy, or you're too nervous to express yourself, or maybe you don't know how to, then it becomes a bit difficult to create an income off of that follower. But I think people who look a certain way, especially those flashy people on Instagram, they can totally make some money.
And let me tell you.
Yeah.
let me talk about that.
Yeah, she wanted to.
Following,
There's a
what
follow.
you
Okay.
said. Because, and people don't know, and this is where skill comes in. Because even with certain things, you have to know how to do it, and you have to know the rules of the game. Like even with, I have 50,000 followers on TikTok, right? But you can't just do that. Like people think, oh, that's easy to do. There's certain things you can't say on TikTok, you can't do on TikTok, you can't sell on TikTok. You have to be
It's
very
an order.
strategic, or they will ban your account
Oh, wow.
for months. So it's certain things like you think followers equals money. Let me just leverage that. It's not, it's so much different. And as I'm learning and honing that skill, it's not that easy. So when you see people like, oh, she got these followers, or he got these followers, they can do that. It's not that easy. Well, I don't know about the broke part, but
Here's the reason. Yes, please share. And we'll introduce who you are and your business.
Okay, my name is Hugh Williams of Photo Fashion Photography. I actually,
Women, you did.
And he
Women, you
is,
did.
he is the
that's why
photographer.
that's why he went to
Oh, those photos was fire.
I just feel like, we rely so much on social media, and social media is a good tool, but I think the most important part is just what's going on right now, connection points. Like people have to connect with you and feel you. Sometimes people can connect with you on social media and feel you, but I feel that, most people need to start their business from a grassroots perspective, connecting with people, that people see their services, whether it's their product or their service, people like it, and that word of mouth will spread. So I feel like social media should be an added bonus, but if you are just relying on social media without really taking the time to really connect with people,
Yeah.
you don't really
It's a
have it.
blended approach.
It's
Yeah, there
definitely
you
a
go.
small
There you
percentage
go.
of social media.
And also, I'm in the head industry. So for real, when I first started out with no license, never went to hair school, just had an idea, had my degree from, administration. I said I would create my own economy. And I said, what would I do? Hair. I was good at it. I was great at it. I would look at someone who nobody would notice. God had given me the gift that I could do something to her hair and change her whole life. And then arch your eyebrows, help her to find a piece, tell her to pull them boobs up some more, sew a bra and make them stand up. I'm serious. And for real, someone who wasn't getting noticed began to get noticed.
You provided attention. It was specialized attention.
It's a gift. And a lot of hairstylists, you would not believe. I was making at 24, I'm making $3,000 a week living. Was I filing taxes? No, I wasn't doing anything. So when I didn't have anybody to come and tell me, connect yourself with a mentor. Every person who I looked up to, with the exception of the people that didn't live here, like I said, to this gentleman right here, he could be a catalyst to start some kind of program within his community for mentorship for people that need mentorship. People was not helping me. And it wasn't that I was arrogant. And Lee, can tell you, I was always considered a very nice person, but they was hated. I could sit down, I was working, just through a contact I made, I worked at BT. And I was working at BT, freelancing. And the gentleman who was the fashion director at BT, he took me on his wing like I was a son. Made them see me in New York. Because New York gonna see, I did a favor for him. But I was getting money. I wasn't buying all the fly pieces. I was looking clean. I was looking presentable. But I knew we lived cheap. I got a apartment in New York because I was doing television. And I had a place here. But I didn't have nobody to talk to. I was the first one. What do you do? You're the first one in your family and your network is doing it. Well, nobody coming that was in Jack and Jill that I knew, you know what I mean? Coming trying to help me. None of the people that were already there and established was trying to send an olive branch to me to do whatever. Yeah, if I could do something for their kids to help the kids, I would do something to give them a discount with my business. I was making $3,000 a week. And I didn't have nobody to tell me what to do. And then when I got with the accountants, or like even with what's her name? The one, Joan Pratt. She got over on me for some of my tax stuff. So that's why I'm saying, I mean, I've seen it, who help, we have to build some kind of, and I'm glad we have a meeting, but we have to build some kind of hub. I know they say SBA is okay, but if you don't run to the right people, we could do this with our community. You know what I mean? We could build some kind of hub, for businesses. Like you're doing something, you say you help people reformulate their business. I would love to come and talk to you about reformulating, rebranding, but are you going to give information? People don't give information. They want you to climb through I mean, I've never begged for nothing. I feel you. And have and on houses and land. But I'm saying that hairstylists, a lot of make $5,000 a day, $10,000 a week. These local hairstylists here, these little guys, they don't have no customer service skill. But they could do some hair, they can put a weave or do a lace front, you know what I mean? But I'm happy at 50 that people are still, young people still requesting me. I'm on it. But I don't make the money like these kids make it. If y'all want to get to somebody who makes just as much money as these doctors and stuff, check out these hairstylists. I'm trying to tell y'all. And y'all can kill cover a lot of ground. I'm trying to tell you.
No, I would like to unpack some of the things you shared, and then I want you to share a little bit about your nonprofit and what you're doing. So the first thing that I want to talk about is many things. One, at the very beginning, you had mentioned something about haters. I think as leaders, we got to understand we just gonna have. And I assume that I don't. And I think the quicker we as leaders get that we gonna have people that's not gonna like us, that's gonna hate us, is the quicker we won't even be able to focus on. And
we're just going for help.
Oh no, but let me tell you something.
When talking to the leaders,
I feel you.
That's the one.
I was rejected also when I started.
Let me tell you, I was rejected. I was in New York. I was rejected. I was to DC in New Jersey. You know what? They showed me more love. So when I was coming back to and the Travis Weekies and them see me and buy a pass, you from Baltimore? Yeah, you remember I came to you. Yeah. Or when I was doing different things, traveling, and people flying me out, I might see the Sheila Dixons, and I'll put you out there for real. Or the Captain Hughes and all that other stuff. They wasn't sure. That's the hateration I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The people that set in leadership,
I feel
not
you.
no pun intended. So if you can make me feel something, I'm a loyal person.
Yeah.
I'm a loyal person. And so I go far beyond the Call of Duty for people I believe.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But
And I feel everything
so
you're
I
saying.
done went to everybody, I went down to
Mhm.
import and export because I wanted to import and export Sheila Dixon works
Right.
together one time.
Okay.
So I can tell you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah. No, I agree. What I was, where I was going with that was, no, you're fine. We can express. Where I was going with that was, because this is a leadership breakfast, right? So when we talk about the different dynamics that we're going through, we also have to redirect our mind and say, you know what, this is going to also come with the territory. And with the political thing, I know exactly.
I didn't know that. I was
No,
a young man.
No, well, I was when I didn't know. I was 22 and I went to the
Right.
leader and I was rejected in the city too.
Right.
But not only that, it's and I'm not my thing is, even with certain things that I know that I'm doing, I know that there's certain things. Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, how you doing? Good. Miss, wait a minute.
Hey, how you doing?
Are you tell me your name, honey? Hey, you think
Come
well,
on here.
come
Come
on.
on here, bro.
I'm Catherine. Nice to meet you. It's our first time meeting. Good to meet you. Welcome. Feel free to get some breakfast. Okay. We'll let you introduce yourself once you get, settled. Yeah. Okay. Everything that you're saying, I have felt, I have personally felt it. So I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm hired.
But
Don't crack.
look,
All of
let me
I'm
just,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. And I know how it feels. I can relate. But you know what? I had to tell myself, if I'm going to walk this road of leadership, I have to also understand that that is going to come with it. Now, was it easy? Did I like it in the very beginning? No, I was 22 and rejected right here in the heart of the city. I'm not going to go on the names. I don't need to do all that. But what I'm saying is, and if you have to express what you have to express, but what I'm saying is this is the leadership breakfast and we can express it. But once we express it, then we have to also shift our mindset and say, what do I do with this now? Here's, why you were successful, why you still successful. Everything I've heard you say, you connect with people. When you started talking about, and I know it may sound funny, when you talk about the broad holder, that's detail, brother. You didn't miss any detail. What I'm hearing from you, when you work with someone, you don't leave no stone unturned. That's why people deal with you. That's what I'm hearing. So even though you did not have that mentor, that innate ability on the inside of you allowed you to rise to the occasion. Even though no one was there. And I feel your pain. I understand what you're saying. I've been through a lot. I know what rejection feels like. But also, just like you told him, what you see in him, also what I see in you, is that raw ability that you have on the inside of you that allowed you to reach those financial goals, that allowed you to do what you're doing now, and the more that is still to come. You mentioned something also about within the hair care community, individuals making the money and what are we going to do? So I didn't even get to the chance to talk about it, but I'll just share it now. And I've already shared it with Dr. Leroy. I'm actually on the first, I'm going to be getting a key to a space here locally, and it's going to be a decent space where it is going to be a physical hub. And every first and third Fridays, we're going to be doing networking events, trainings there. I'm gonna have access to it 7 days a week. You mentioned also something about within the hair care community and the beauticians and so forth. There's a client of mine that's now we're becoming partners. He's in the DC area. He's actually putting together a curriculum model specifically to help business professionals in that industry so that when they're making that money, but they know how to not only flip it, but turn it into a long-term business for themselves, right? This sister also talked about one of the things that business owners, sometimes if we don't know, we don't know. But if we're a business owner, if we don't have a retirement plan, what's going to happen, right? Literally right now within my own family, even though my mom is in the business owner, but we're dealing with some situations. I'm going to put her personal design. We're dealing with some health situations. And if long-term care isn't there, then what are siblings got to do? We got to figure it out financially. And so these things are very real to make sure things are put in place. But again, if you don't know what you don't know, or if you don't have people that's willing to mentor you, as I'm hearing from you, to pour that into you, you don't know what you don't know. But answering your question is something, yes, September 1st, actually when I leave here, I'm going to go sign my contract, and September 1st, I'm going to get the key. So there will be a physical hub.
Bravo.
Here's the thing too, that everything that we're talking about, and something that Kendall said that I thought was key. She talked about skill and talent. And Mel, what I told you, you took something out of me because I was looking at what you did as far as my son. You know, I gave you a fit. I was like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that.
I know you did.
But he was like, trust me,
You did,
trust
yeah.
what I'm telling you. This is how it's going to look when it comes out. And sure enough, and him and Hugh, when they had this image of what they saw in me, I was just like, all right, okay. And then when I saw the pictures,
when those
they had me thinking I was a model. I was like,
I was you on Instagram, and I told you, I don't know if you remember, not Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if you remember about
What's
you,
your name?
Kendall.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
But,
No, yeah,
but
yeah.
trust your skill,
Like, you
trust
did a
what
good
it is
job.
that you're doing. And most of us here can say that we didn't have those mentors, and especially in business, because that's not where we were at that particular time in as a community. Being able to teach those who were those that were before us weren't teaching us how to be where it is that we are now. A lot of the stuff that we had to learn was bumping our heads against the wall. I did that too. When starting my business, there was nobody out there telling you. Really, I was like, there's tons of books that can tell you how to start a business, but there was nobody, and there were no books to show you how to keep the doors open, how to manage that money that you're getting. You get this influx of money because you are talented or you do have a skill. Okay, now what? Now what? I don't know what to do with it. So it's important that those of us that have acquired the skills and the talents that we have, that we not only use them for our business, but that we pour it into that next generation so that they don't have to bump their heads all the time against the wall. Yeah, there's some things we got to go through. We just got to go through because that's part of growing your business. But for the major part of those things, I've always said you should have someone that's in front of you who is where you want to be, somebody that's on your level, which is working towards what you're working towards. And then those that are coming behind you that you pour into so that they can learn what you've actually learned. Those are three levels that we should be doing. And then the last thing I'll talk about is everything we talk about here is about your ecosystem, your business ecosystem.
Oh, he was already on there. Yeah, he was already.
What's your business ecosystem? Who are those your business? Who do you do business with? Who do you have around you? What's your team? You talked about having your team. You have to have a team around you. You got to have your graphic designer, even a stylist to tell you what that look that you want to put up there. Having a website designer, having an account, somebody that can somebody that had that money, and all of those team members that you have around you, that's your business ecosystem. And then you being a part of your client's ecosystem. That means, like I said before, when they think about getting headshots, they thinking about Hugh. When they're thinking about being styled, they're thinking about Milroy. When they're thinking about business consulting, they're thinking about coming to Catherine, coming to Lindsay. Did I get it right, Lindsay? Did I say it right? I want to make sure I got it. But having that ecosystem, building that ecosystem is huge. And what you're doing, Catherine, that hub, I think is going to be huge as well, because it's going to begin to be able to put people in connection with each other and where we need to be, because relationships are resources, y'all. So these relationships that you're building is, my boy Clarence, you go.
Come on,
Clarence, he says relationships are resources, so that when I might not have an
I don't
answer.
have problems, but I have friends.
I have
That's what he
friends.
always says.
I got people that can solve problems. And that's what each and every one of us as entrepreneurs are here to do. We're here to solve somebody's problem and being able to do that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, and then after Kendall, we're gonna let Nathaniel to share about his nonprofit, and we're gonna let Nzinga introduce herself and share about her business. Go ahead, Kendall.
What I want to say is, this is what I have a problem with in business. When people don't want to share information, especially I touch a nerve, when people don't want to share what they know, and they want to charge you for every little thing. As a business owner, I believe this. I believe God's going to take care of me financially. Right. And as certain things I will charge for, but certain things I will not. I will help people step by step to do something. You want to write a book? my workshop. You don't have no money, you do this workshop for free because I want to see your dream come true. I'm gonna show you how to write a book from top to bottom. I'm gonna show you what you need to do. I don't nickel and dime people for everything. And I think with Black people, sometimes they don't want you to get where they are. They always want you here and then here. And I don't believe in that. And I really want to debunk that with Black people. I'm going to give it to you because I know God got me. And I do think, and somebody might say, well, that's not smart business because you in the business, you got to make. No, because whatever job, whatever gig, whatever I have, God has given it to me. So it's certain things that I will charge, and it's certain things that I will give freely because I want to see that next brother and sister get to where they need to go. And I want to be a part of making their dream come true. And I think we have to stop being crabs in a barrel and being stingy with information. I come across it all the time. And I was like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. People inbox me, email me all the time, and I freely give information and resources. Leroy will tell you that because I believe that's what I believe. And I think we have to start giving what we know to people. If we really talk about community, if we really talk about having a hub, if we really talk about these things, we have to be about that. We have to help build other leaders. We can't just be the leader on the top, be like, I see what you're doing down there, but you ain't gonna make it up here for me because I got this information. You asked me and I'm not gonna give it to you. And we gotta stop that. That's what burns my biscuits.
Yeah, yeah. And if I could segue, yeah, and that's why I formed Uplift Baltimore. And Uplift Baltimore is a nonprofit that provides wraparound services to young people up to the age of 26. A lot of us sometimes, unfortunately, we just don't know how to do things, you know, and then the people who knew how to do things, they keep things so they want money for it. So I wanted to start this nonprofit to really help kids. I'm a 25-year IT professional. You know, I've been in the military, I've traveled the world, but I've realized that using technology from a professional standpoint really gives us a leg up if we really embrace it. And I want to get that into our kids, our young people. You know, the employment gaps, you know, it's there. I'm trying to get kids in high school now to take tech, you know, so they can walk out of high school in jobs. So that was one of the things on my campaign. You know, college is going to cost money. Associates, it's just time. You got, you know, we got very dynamic, complex family environments sometimes. But if we can get kids to work earlier and we can pay them, you know, I have a 20-year-old kid as an example that works at our company. Went through a program in Boston that I'm mirroring here in Baltimore. He makes $60,000 with full benefits. There's no kid's going to turn, no 20-year-old's going to turn that down, but he's a tech professional. So we're really trying to pour into them. And they have to be willing to do those things. Yeah. The other thing is the mentoring, the mental health mentoring. Even my own family, I have situations where we deal with substance abuse, we're dealing with, you know, blended families, we're dealing with relationships that have gone. Having somebody to talk to, or having somebody I know I can put them in touch with to say, hey, I'm just like you. And then just being transparent. Yeah. You know, we have to be transparent as a people now. Yeah. We've had slavery all the way up to now. Ain't much in between then and now that you need to hide. You know what I mean? It's happened to somebody. Yeah. And not be embarrassed and be ashamed about it. But you're going through divorce, separation, drug addiction, whatever. You're human. It's part of it. Yeah. Talk about it. So future generation of people can do it. And that's why, you know, with my campaign, you know, what I'm going to do in the fourth quarter is I'm going to regroup. One, really assess the position I'm going for. It was good to be I ran for state delegate, but I wanted to understand how to run. That was the main goal, and reach people, get my name out there and let people know who I am. But I think my initiatives really wrap around another seat and, you know, in the county government. So that's what I've learned. So now it's preparing, it's forming that team. And then most importantly, getting out and meeting people, going to the events, going to the movie, to the meetings, the council meetings, so they'll know who Nathaniel Logan is. Meeting you all and you being invited and speaking to your engagements, your event, or supporting is the thing that I have to do as a political figure. I should think as a community activist, being involved, you know, civilly. So those are the things I think that we should do. But Uplift Baltimore is a nonprofit, wraparound services, kids up to the age of 26. I say anything that a child or a young adult needs before they get off their parents' insurance, I'm willing to help them out. Not to say that I collect insurance.
That's to 25.
Yeah. So I just want to be able to pour into them and give them that, give them a chance of having a leg up, live a pretty good life. You don't have to be a star to have a good life, you know?
Is it an age requirement for kids? Is the location requirement?
No, you're wherever, it's Uplift Baltimore. So
you probably get a couple of pictures you answer that question.
sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can have.
Yeah, please.
Oh, no, I just wanted her to introduce herself. Miss Cynthia?
Good morning, everybody. My name is
Morning.
Cynthia Conway. I am the owner and operator of Brain Journey. We're a full outpatient mental health and a residential substance abuse facility. We service individuals from 5 on up to adulthood. And
Yeah. And going back to the conversation about business training and development and complementary resources on August 25th, and anyone is welcome to come. If you know of any business owner that don't have a coach, that don't have money for a coach, I'm doing a 4-hour training. I'm not charging that day, but we need people to come on time. And it's August 25th from 4 to 8 p.m. Why do I talk about time? Because time is something we don't get back. Now, we know some people may be working and leaving from work. So if they can't get there to 4, it's okay, because what I'm doing in that 4-hour block, every hour and an hour is new topics. So even if they miss, let's say they couldn't get there right at 4, I'm gonna record it. So if they didn't get the beginning part of the training, you know, they can still go back, kind of like what Dr. Will is doing with 1095. So I'm putting this out there. It's gonna be the Cobalt Workspace. I've already got the room reserved. August 25th, 4 to 8 p.m. Yeah, it's actually a couple minutes from here. 4 to 8 p.m. And again, this is because, so when we talk about challenges, I'm always wondering, then what's the solution? We have a solution coming up August 25th. So as we talk about who's willing to coach and not charge, it's happening on August 25th, right? So if you want to come, if anybody you know that's in business that want to come, it's a Thursday, 4 to 8. And it's going to be, I always say meat and potatoes training. We're going to come in and we're going to be mapping out the 4th quarter. That's what that 4 hours is all about. The 4th quarter, we're going to be mapping out what does our financials need to look like for next year, what it look like for the years thereafter, really for the 3 years. So one of the things when I do coaching and training, I don't believe in wasting nobody's time. So whoever does come that day, you're going to walk away. If you don't have a business plan, you're going to walk away with a business plan. We're going to have laptop stations. If you have a laptop, bring it. If you don't worry about them. Have at least 2 extra laptops set up. So, and I have this software, it's the Business Pro software. Don't worry, you don't have the software. The software is going to be there that day. So we're eliminating excuses on August 25th. So if you know anybody that want to come, if you want to come, the doors is open to you. Okay. So yeah.
No, that and I'm telling you, the presentation, because it's the same one that we took the entrepreneurs over in DC. It's a phenomenal presentation, and it's a foundational piece from the software that she uses. I mean, you literally the business plan is already written for you. You just got to plug in what you plug in for your particular industry. It is absolutely it is 21st century, and it'll take you from where you are now, where you to that next level that you want to be with your business, no matter where you are. Even if you are an established business owner, entrepreneur, this will give you another way to be able to fine tune, going back, and like you were saying, looking at your business plan and saying, okay, yeah, I do need to tweak this, or I need to do this now, and it'll give you an actual way of looking at your business to be able to go deep into those numbers, go deep into what it is, the marketing, all of those different aspects of your business to be able to fine tune it. So that, it's a worthwhile. So if you know anyone, any aspiring entrepreneur,
and if you know any, like some of the beauticians that want to come, they can come. Okay.
So let me ask you something. I have another question.
Sure.
So listen, is there an age limit or age requirement for kids? That I have a nephew.
No.
He's young, and so the reason why he couldn't get to a program is because of his age. But he has they study. We just moved back to back stateside from Calabro, Puerto Rico. His father's age was engineer. My sister's very intelligent, but he he has a mentality of a 25 years. So he wanted to do IT. So
Yeah, put him in touch with me, please. Real talk afterwards. That's exactly now the campaign, so I'm really getting back into my nonprofit work. So I want to, as many kids as and it's a great thing because, I'm not a behavioral health expert, but, we have someone that's here. So yeah, I got my kids that said, hey, I will put you in touch with that service, and we come up with a schedule for you guys to service them. So that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Really trying to bring things together, wrap around, and get the kids in a better place.
Yeah.
So uplift, a true uplift, that's one of my cardinal principles, Q.
Yeah.
So I have to, I really embrace that. I really embrace community.
when you
Yeah.
cross the Brandon State,
Pyomeg, I'm Baltimore.
oh, Baltimore,
Yeah.
okay. Morgan,
No, the city chapter,
okay.
the city chapter, yes.
And so as we talk about the morning to the leader in you, the morning to the leader in you was started to awaken us to where we need to go, where we need to go, where we need to go. That's one thing I'm always telling myself, where's the next step? Where's the next step? When I talk to entrepreneurs, where's the next step? When I started business, I did not come from a family of money. That was not my reality. Everything that I have, and many people here at this table, everything you have is because you worked for it. You worked for it. And so then I want to make sure that when we walk away from this morning, I'm very intentional about when I leave a setting, what are we walking away with? What can we sink our teeth in and actually do, right? So some share what they want to work on. Anybody else want to share what they specifically want to be working on as far as their business? Yes.
Well, my goal, my lifelong aspiration was to open up a hair and barbering school. But inside this school, it was specialized. I would have a segment where kids would learn, soft skills, customer service. They will learn how to articulate when they're dealing with, their clients, how to do, how to deal with conflict resolution, and then also how to prepare for photo shoots and how to market yourself through photos.
Well, first of all, with the final result, I know you said y'all still doing more, but what I have seen, there's no question in my mind that is an absolute, that's a diamond. Like your gift with that. I mean, I've seen his photo, but it was next level. I mean, did both of y'all coming together to put y'all creativeness together with the result of that? You know what I'm saying? I think you should totally flow in that. And when you come on August 25th, we're gonna hash out the details in terms of how you need to execute it. I'm gonna execute, that's my skill. So like we all have something that we just naturally good at. My gift is when I work with a client or an entrepreneur, if they have an idea or a concept, but it's kind of like not put together yet, and it's kind of like here, there. My skill, just like we had a jigsaw puzzle, right? And all these pieces is all over the place. My innate skill is putting the pieces together. By the time I finish working with someone, they're gonna have clarity on how to
If
execute.
my gift is I'm a connector. You help me, I can guarantee I can help you. There's no joke about that. I've helped people campaigns. I've helped people with a lot of stuff. So like I said, I'm a connector.
Yes.
And like right now, I see a vision for you as far as pictures and the other things. So, but I'll talk to you after. I mean, once I get this thing in my mind, it's like this thing that goes off the side of my head. And I just want to do something.
Right.
I see ideas for makeup for you. I even see ideas for wardrobe for you, right where you are. You know what I mean? Until you go, but where you can transcend, where people see the difference in all the fashion you want to, with your body.
Yeah.
But I can pick you right where you are and make you look extremely blush.
And the way you present your business, I mean,
I don't mean to like that.
And I'm not taking it that way. But what I'm saying is the way you present it, it is very appealing. Is what I'm saying. And so and we all need our time where we just need it. We just need to vent. I don't want you to feel this the time that you share. I mean, maybe this was a space that you just needed to release.
I need to release.
And I felt that. But what I'm saying is, once we leave from here, let's leave that. You know what I'm saying?
It's done. It's done. And let me tell you something. If I would truthfully, I think that it had kept me. I was in a space for a minute because I was like, Lord, these people work me or this, that, other. And then I'm like, hey, how are you, Bam? This, that, other. Or might see them in church, they look at this parent, or just somebody ate at my dinner table. And my mother's dinner table, she was an international host. And then when I see them again, how you doing, man? They look, I mean, but then when they saw me in position with my suit on at small fries church or teaching in the ministry or whatever, then they want to acknowledge me. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
So
people title
it's
struck.
right, but no, it's all good. It's okay. But I got a chance to see them. And I mean, but I was just saying this because for real, I'm so active about people invoking change. You know, like he talked about. I mean, what really did this for me, y'all, and y'all might think I'm crazy. The other day, I looked at James Brown's movie, the James Brown movie, and I saw how his mother and dad interacted. She was trying to throw herself on him. And then the more I started reading, and I started talking to different, hearing conversations with other people, I realized that James Brown, because my grandfather's ex-wife, she played with James Brown. His mother was first generation free slave. And then I'm like, wow, that was just around the corner. And then I sat back, and then somebody was telling me about a book that Martin Luther King wrote, that if you give a people 400 years in a race, you give them 400 year advantage to run, and then you come in and you set the other people there, they behind you. So then I realized where we are now is coming, but we had no coping skills. We had no one who showed a father how to be a father, or mother how to really truly be a mother. It's everything that's been given to our people has just been through mother-led or God-given or just happens. So I'm saying I to say that I have, let it go. I mean, sometimes it still takes me, but like when I look at stuff, I'm like, wow, but I realize now. But I know that today it has not been an accident that I'm here. I thank you for inviting me because it has opened my mind. But then when this gentleman was talking about community and all that other stuff, it really touches me because like for so many years, I mean, I've been in a community where there was a lot of political people doing this from the parents, from the Mitchells on. I've seen them, and I've seen everybody in different things. I really haven't seen too many people who can evoke change. But I believe, truthfully, without even knowing you, I believe that you have the ability to evoke change.
Appreciate that.
But I just wish that maybe, I know your team, of course, they say, you got to watch the people in your team, but I just believe we dig deep down. I don't know, but we dig a little deeper and also put some people, in the grassroots area that you'll find some loyalists there that will help sell you to the people that matter. You know what I mean? I just believe, I just see it. I don't know why I see this thing, but I've been known to walk up to people and say something and they bust out crying.
Yes.
So,
No, let's do it for Lindsay.
Lindsay.
So we'll make sure. Lindsay,
I'm sorry, Lindsay. Yes. Lindsay, hey, sister.
Hey,
Charlotte, for those that don't know, we have phenomenal queen with us. Lindsay, gotta drop it. I got it?
yes.
All right. She's all the way from Charlotte. We just connected this morning. And I kind of inserted probably prematurely. We're gonna do a good morning to the leader. You and Charlotte, hopefully, yes, maybe so.
Absolutely.
Okay. So how can people contact you? What is your contact information?
Yes, so you can go to my website, www.kingdomvisionconsult.com, or you can email us info@kingdomvisionconsult.com as well.
All right. And can you drop that in the chat? That way I could, if anyone didn't get it, we could just share it out.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
And that's what I want us all to do right now. If we could exchange information. And actually, I have the flyer for August 25th. So if anybody want me to text you the flyer, I can text it to you. Also on it. Yes. And then if somebody can't physically get there, I can also have a Zoom set up and they can still be a part of the training that way.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah. Because they got that TV in there. I'm gonna go before the day so I know how to set it up. Because we could put it, you know what I'm saying? All right. So who wants the flyer? You do. Okay. It's ain't gonna let me send it. Okay. Let me send y'all this flyer. And then while I'm sending out the flyers, plug your contact information in terms of your social media handles, your whatever contact information you feel comfortable sharing.
And what I'll say too, just to kind of keep it going as we begin to close out. You talked about takeaways, and you talked
Mhm.
about where do we go from here. And I know part of everything that I do, which is in, kind of lockstep with what Catherine was talking about, was I always say, and when we do this show, we want people to come away enlightened, empowered, and impacted. We want to teach you something, we want to equip you with something, and then we want to impact you to want to do something. So that's what Good Morning to the Leader and You is. This podcast is about. It's about giving information, connecting entrepreneurs so that we can create those ecosystems that I was talking about, the business ecosystems that you have, and then your client ecosystems to be able to do that and build. So after today, it's about we're still in the third quarter. We're in the third quarter of this year, and the fourth quarter is coming very quick. So what you want to do is you want to think about and take a look at where you are in this third quarter. You have January all the way through to at least July that you can look at with your business and seeing where you are and say, okay, this is how I want to go into the fourth quarter. These are the things that I want to do because my thing is always, you want to finish strong. It's about finishing strong. That fourth quarter is about everybody that has run track or knows track, that 4x100, that anchor leg, that last leg is running. It's about running full force. It's about being that one person that has the speed, talent, skill to be able to catch anything that's in front of you or leave anything that's behind you that's not give it the ability to catch up with you and be able to do that. So hopefully you'll take that away from today. You'll be able to take this. I mean, I thought this has been really, 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 really great to be able to see us, to be able to come together like this, to be able to dialogue, to be able to talk, and to be able to have a mastermind, if you will. And like I said, this week, I'm talking about mastery. What are you mastering in your business? What are you mastering in your mind? You got to master your mind first, because if you focus on the wrong thing, you will go in the wrong direction. So it's about mastering that mind, mastering your craft. Be the expert in what it is that you do. Be the best at what you do. I'm that person that can do this. I can do it. And I always thought about this when I was in the hospitality industry and I worked. My thing was always, I could literally be at home. There was an issue that they would call me and I could literally see the computer, what they needed to do. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. That's mastery. That was understanding what the software system that we use, understand that know where somebody needed to be or how somebody can get where to mastering that particular skill set. And then mastering your industry. What industry are you in? Look at where your industry is right now. Where is it? Where is it? And then not only where is it going? That way you're always ahead of everybody else. If you're thinking 5 years from now, you'll always be ahead of everybody else. I learned in college, my dean, he always taught us about the bell curve. Either in front of the bell curve, on top of the bell curve, or behind the bell curve. You never want to be behind the bell curve. You never want to be on top of the bell curve. The ones that are on top of the bell curve are those that are just making it, just kind of staying afloat. You understand that? But those that are in front of the bell curve, you're thinking 5 years from now. You're thinking 10 years from now. What is it that you do? So that's hopefully what you can start to think about. Take a look, open that business plan back up and start looking at it. Okay, am I where I want to be right now? If I'm not, what were those obstacles? Was I the obstacle, or were there other obstacles that were in my way or that are in my way, moving me to where it is that I want to be? So hopefully y'all took that from today, and this has been a good session for everybody. Oh yeah, I want everybody that can have. Actually, everyone can get these. That's why I brought. I don't have enough here with me, but I brought them all with me. I brought a stash. Should have brought all of them.
A little bit of the history of how it got started.
The
Newspaper.
Oh yeah, that's actually, this is, if I can hold one of them, and I'll this is the national. Y'all can see that the National Black Community News newspaper. It's a local newspaper, but it's a global newspaper as well. This paper goes from all the way from here all the way over to Africa and to Europe as well. But it's a national newspaper. The editor is brother David Murphy. If you don't know the name, you should know the name. He's been in media and newspapers for over 40 something years. But He started this some years ago. I can't know exactly when he started this one, but he's had publishing newspapers years, but he just started this one. I know maybe like 20 years ago. I'm not sure exactly when, but this newspaper has different articles about stuff that you're not readily going to read about that go on here locally, but go on globally as well. The different editors that are in here that write these stories. There's some phenomenal stories about things that are just going on all over the globe. And the rest of the team, they're absolutely phenomenal. Take a look at the newspaper, read the different articles. My section in here is the author showcase, which is where we give a platform to authors who are, you might or might not have readily know about them, but we give them a platform to be able to talk about their mission, the message, the movements or motivation, all of those things about it. But this newspaper is something that's near and dear to me, but is also doing some dynamic things as well too. So yes, please take one.
I would
And
love to be a factor contributor.
and I already talked to him about that. So so definitely, and I thought I connected you too, but definitely want to make sure that you're connected to him about doing that in the newspaper.
Yeah,
That's
I
something
was
that's
supposed to come first one y'all had. But
that's fine, but it's every Tuesday. Yeah, we have it every Tuesday. So we're good. Yeah, but absolutely.
Did everybody get a chance to share their plug, any contact information? I know you passed out cards that you want to share. Even if you don't have business cards, if you just want to verbally share, how can people connect with you?
Kathy.
We got some juice orders in the room. She gonna read you.
I have to go, but this was amazing. Thank you all so much for having
Oh,
me.
yes, ma'am. And is it okay if Dr. Leroy, hey, Lindsay, is it okay if Dr. Leroy give your number to me so we can follow up?
Yeah. I'll give you my personal number. I'll drop it right here in the chat for
Drop
you.
it in the chat. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then I'm gonna call you.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
All right, take care.
You too, love. Bye-bye.
Thank you for my coffee, Mr. Lee.
You ready to go?
Huh?
You ready to go?
Yes, thank you for
Just,
my coffee.
just, I just want to give a real quick, for those that's coming on the 25th, what to work with leading up to that day.
So this was a leader in you.
Oh, no worries.
With my brother.
No,
Let me
once
put
you're
you over
done,
there, 'cause
no,
y'all
I'm gonna
see
go after y'all.
my brother. Look, we actually in the same room. We do our show first.
I would love to get it.
Oh, yes, that would be really good. Okay.
Well, hey, red might be better, Leroy, but it both energy. I mean, not Leroy, but
Oh.